Hey, these are the Jeremy Journals. Okay, now, sometimes I get an idea in my head and I can't kind of get it out until it's thought out. And I used to watch this show and it brought it to mind originally, and then I found that it's an actual theory of the universe. But when time, there was some scientists think that time is like an elastic band, and it stretches and stretches and stretches until it finally can't stretch anymore, and then it snaps back. But when it snaps back, time then travels backwards. And I don't mean like in a way that we can understand. We would all be doing things in reverse, is what I mean. And so if you really look at that, in some ways it's good. Like, we get to live again, you know? We get to live our lives all over again. Unfortunately, our lives will be completely different in a way that we don't fully understand. So I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, well, what would happen in a backwards universe? How would life be? So I started thinking that, well, right off the bat, people are not, born. They're not carried in a womb in a backwards universe. In fact, they're grown in the ground and cultivated. And a large group of what will inevitably be your family gather around. And during harvesting time, dig you up. You're instantly given to a man or a woman, whoever does asks for the digging, and you are instantly betrothed to them. So here it is. You're old right off the bat. But if you really think about it, most seedlings look, kind of wrinkly. It takes a while before they blossom. And if you have Alzheimer's, though, it's kind of cool because you slowly start remembering. You remember who you're with, and that's kind of cool. It's really kind of beautiful if you really think about it. Unfortunately, after you remember them, you start to slowly forget one another, And, I guess that could be sad. Going to the bathroom is a living nightmare. It's not even going to the bathroom, actually. Technically, it would be called eating, First off, in stage 1 of eating, we would all go to private stalls and sit down while the most horrific things from the sewers jump up inside of us. Then, without saying a word, we get up, and after, before they jump up, we make sure we're very clean down there for the accepting them. Then we get up and we all congregate around a table to then vomit up what just leapt up inside of us. Normally it would take about 24 hours before that would happen. In the meantime, what leapt up inside you, that horrific stuff I mentioned, would be sort of like revitalized in your stomach and given all these nice little nutrients and such, until finally you upchucked it all up on a plate, turning it into like lovely displays, to be honest with you. And it is then taken away from you and distributed to plants, and in many cases you are directly responsible for the birth of animals. Yeah. Well, that's another story, though. So we travel through our lives together, slowly forgetting one another until finally we just kind of shake hands and part. Which I guess is a nice way to do it, to be honest. All the arguments that you had in life together are kind of cool as well. They start off horrible, but you always end happy. you know? So there's that. Now, you get younger and younger as you progress in life, and eventually you have to go to an institute because your brain's just not holding things the way it used to. It was never really good to begin with, but now you're forgetting things at such a great amount. It's ridiculous. So you go to these institutes where instructors or teachers teach you to forget everything you've ever known. And as they do that, you slowly get younger and younger and younger until finally, for whatever reason, the woman that you've considered as a mother, you just sort of love her so much that people grab you and stuff you back inside her for the first time. Where she then begins to digest you. It's not a happy world too much. Some things are nice. Your mother digesting you is kind of weird, but that's a backwards universe. Ja,